Hi everyone, this is Lisa. Welcome back to another video and taking a deep dive into all things around the home. Just taking a deep dive into each and every individual space in your home and what that all means. The idea behind these videos is to inspire, motivate and educate on how your mind and your body and your environment reflect each other, and how clearing the clutter, adding color, creating change for your home and your life. So today we are in the garage, or down in the basement car park / storage area of all these people's and mine past memories. Your garage represents your past memories, so hence why it's a great idea to have your garage cleared out and cleaned out from time to time. So I'm just going to turn the camera around, start to talk to you about not showing anyone's in particular area, but so you can see there's where everyone parks their cars and all the storage cages. So it's definitely an area of past memories, and it's quite interesting actually when you go around and you see how people have their storage cages. Some are neat and tidy, some are chock-a-block full, and everywhere in between. So the area of the garage is represented, as I said, your past emotions. So it's important to have it neat and tidy and well organized. Of course, the garage is really important, where we store things that we need. Like, you store your tools in there, you might store all your gardening equipment in there, you might store your camping equipment in there, you might store your Christmas decorations, things like that. But as long as everything has its place and everything is well organized, neat and tidy. I've helped quite a few people with their garages over the time. And, I used to have a garage myself. And when I got divorced, it was clearing out. I did a lot of clearing out in the garage. I vacuumed the garage. I swept the garage. I really didn't like the garage. I didn't like spending time in the garage. But it was very necessary, parked the car in there and had necessary things in there. So when I help other people, especially if they have a lot of stuff that they want to keep, we all try to organize it into, have a shelving unit or something like that, and have like-minded things together. So have all your gardening things together, have all your camping things together, have all your Christmas decorations together, have your outdoor activities all together. And I know that might make sense. That obviously makes sense to a lot of people, but having it clean and clear and tidy. There was one person's garage that I went to was very clean and tidy. It was the most cleanest, tidiest garage you've ever seen. He was in the military. He was in the Air Force. I don't know exactly what he did in the Air Force, but his garage floor was absolutely spotless. It was sparkling. His car was clean and shiny. His motorbike was shiny. He had all of his tools all laid out. Everything had a spot. It was absolutely spectacular. The best garage I've ever seen. But what he had in his garage was all of his awards, accolades, beautiful prints and things like that from his time when he was in the Air Force. He still was in the Air Force, but these things on a wall, all nice and neat, on a wall. His garage was lined with gyprock, so it was all neat and tidy. But these accolades and these awards, they should not have been in the garage. Your garage represents your past. So we shifted all them into his study, which is about your knowledge, your wisdom and your passion. And he did go further with his career in the Air Force, he later told me. So, what do we have in our garage that shouldn't be in there? Plenty of things. Someone else that I know, he had a lot of his late wife's things in the garage, from when she'd completed her thesis, all of her books and university folders, and this was some years and years later. He couldn't bring himself to let them go. But the cockroaches were getting into them, or the rats and mice were getting into them. So by him keeping them, it was of no use to anyone, because he didn't want them in the house. He had them in the garage, but then he couldn't bear to let them go. But the rats and the mice and the cockroaches were eating them anyway. So he may as well have let them go. Just bear in mind, and I suppose a lot of, I want to say, men store a lot of stuff in the garages, and I'm sure there's a lot of women who have garages that are just as bad as men, but mainly I feel like it's the man's domain, the garage, and they like to stuff things in the garage, and they're not like willing to take responsibility for their past emotions and start to clear out these garages. But if you have a husband or a man or a partner that's going to start to clear out these areas, just be mindful that sometimes emotions can come up and they can get really frustrated. They might get angry. They might have a temper tantrum. They might carry on a little bit, but that's okay. Just let them go, let them carry on, and hopefully they'll, come back and keep going. Because just like the cupboards that are inside the house, the cupboards inside the house, inside the cupboards, relates to your emotions within you. So sometimes as women, so to speak, sometimes some people find it difficult to clear out the insides of their cupboards because it brings up emotions, and therefore they can't bring themselves to do it, so therefore they don't do it. So hence the garage as well, typically the man's domain. Often I hear the woman's wanting that, you need to clear out that garage needs cleaning, and the man's like, no, it's fine, I don't want to do it, or they can't bring themselves to do it. And often it's because they don't want to revisit those emotions that relate to that garage. So it's about supporting them, helping them, but not letting them do it, but also being there of support and knowing that they can have help if they choose to. So that's all from me, and I'll talk to you all again soon. Bye for now.